When it comes to fantasy action films, comparison with foreign films, particularly those from Hollywood, are inevitable. However, the key lies in unlocking the nativity factor so that it can sync with the target audience on a bigger scale. This genre reeks of ambition, but apart from a high budget, you also need a competent director who can be a good storyteller and visualizer to ensure that this genre code is cracked to the T. Approximately 30 minutes into Lokah, and you get a vibe of the world that director Dominic Arun is trying to create. There's an intrigue in the proceedings, and while there are formulaic tropes of the genre in between, his noble ambition is undeniable. Coming to the plot, the story is set in Bangalore, where Chandra, played by Kalyani Priyadarshan, is a mysterious woman with unconventional habits and interesting acquaintances. She has just moved into a new flat that looks and feels like a spooky loner's den. In the building that faces her apartment, there is Sunny, played by Naslen, who stays with his friends Nigel and Venu. Needless to say, Sunny has a crush on Chandra as soon as he sees her from his balcony. Soon, he tries to find ways to mingle with her. However, Sunny soon realizes that Chandra isn't your random girl next door and is a Pandora's box of secrets. Meanwhile, Bangalore city is suffocating with crimes of an alleged organ trade, which has a gang that is having the support of Inspector Nachyappa Gowda, played by the irresistible Sandy Master. In what can be termed as a butterfly effect, their paths coincide, and in turn, we get to learn about people and powers that the normal world has only seen or heard in fables. So, what is Chandra's purpose of moving to Bengaluru? Why does she prefer to get out only at night and stay at home all through the day? There are a lot more questions like these, but to get the answers, you need to watch Lokah. First things first, Lokah is a supremely well-made film and has laudable production quality. The visuals are of the highest quality and the color grading is absolutely on point. Arun takes the familiar storytelling route to ensure that the audience are in loop with his vision. Nimish Ravi's cinematography is top-notch, and while some of the film's frames have inspiration from multiple foreign films of this genre, there is a novelty in its presentation. Chaman Chako's editing ensures that the film moves at a very steady pace without any noticeable lag. The screenplay, co-written by Arun and Shanti Balachandran, does have its share of bumps in the first half. The moods shift between Chandra's intrigue and the fun around Sunny's gang, but the latter portions feel like a speed breaker for a while. However, towards the pre-interval, the film starts to move into top gear with a terrific interval block. Kalyani is sensational as Chandra, both in terms of her body language and in the action set pieces. The character is a drastic makeover from the bubbly feminine characters that she has played thus far, but there doesn't seem to be any uneasiness in her portrayal. It is her performance that is the backbone of the film, and to be fair, nobody else has a meaty part either. Naslen has the next best role in terms of screen time, but his character arc is half-baked at best. However, his comic timing ensures that these mundane sequences don't really bore you. While the special appearances are aplenty, there is also a close-up shot of a person's hands, which if you notice clearly, will give you a massive hint for the future installments. Coming to the cameos, there are 3 of them, of which 2 are certain to bring the roof down in cinema halls. Clearly, this is a cinematic universe being built by Dominic Arun, and we're going to see more of those in the coming installments of this franchise. The seeds of those are being sown by Arun towards the latter half of the film with multiple character revelations. Now, what works for Lokah the most is the fact that it doesn't pretend to be something that it is not. Arun has tried to keep things rooted to realism, even with the inevitable fiction around the premise. And the crucial flashback portion is one of the best written portions of the film. On the whole, Lokah is a well-made fantasy action film that's worth a watch due to its technical superiority, interesting narrative, and a host of appreciable performances led by a very confident Kalyani Priyadarshan.